Hello everyone, it's Lauren J. Welcome back, or welcome if you're new. I like to do get ready with me style videos using products that are new to me, or just need a little bit more love in my collection. Today I'm going to be using some products that are new. So I'm pretty excited to try some new products. And if you're interested to see what I picked up, please keep watching. Really excited today. I have some new Danessa Myricks and some new Violet FR to share with you today. I did make an order on Sephora because the new Danessa Myricks Colorfix sticks, make sure I'm saying that right, it's right here. The Colorfix Color Sticks. The Colorfix Multi-Pigment Stick, and I picked up the one in, this is duo number 5, Cassiopeia and Astra. You can see the colors right there. So I was really surprised at how thick this was, because you compare it to something from, because here is a Laura Mercier Caviar Eye Stick. Here is the box for the Danessa Myricks Colorfix Stick. And there's a reason for that actually. So let's just get into this and open it up, because I'm going to be using this today. It does have a lot of packaging. It has an inner container made of cardboard, so that does help with some of it, but when you pull it out, like, this is huge, and it's long. Anyway, so I guess what the idea is that you can mix and match these. So this is duo number 5 again. There is a foil on one end and a metallic on the other, and the idea is that it's magnetic. So you can pull this one out, or you can pull this one out, and you can interchange them as you see fit, which is really cool. Really fits with her Freedom system, I guess. The eyeshadow palettes that she's been coming out with, where those are all magnetic. You can pull out the individual pans and you can change the 6 shadow pans. So very cool. Also, it's just really bulky. So you do have these 2 color sticks. You can see there's going to be, I don't know what the product comparison is, because this tube is thicker, so maybe it's the same amount of product. Not really sure, we'll see. But it does have the newer Danessa Myricks branding on it, where she went with the infinity symbol on the D. She recently made a video, or maybe not so recently, she made a video about why she changed her logo to include the infinity. It has something to do with the community that she's created. I don't know if you can see it on here, but this is the older logo. I have other things here, but they don't have this on it, but it was just a regular like cursive D, and now it's kind of this more elaborate, probably more trademarkable idea. So we're going to go into this today. I also picked up a brand that I've been wanting to try for a really long time, and it came to Sephora not super recently, but this is a newer product from the brand, and this is Violet FR. So Violet is the creative director of Guerlain, and she's been an online influencer and a makeup artist for a really long time before that, and I loved her collections for Guerlain. I have not loved the ones recently, but I really do love the more artistic direction and the more adventurous direction she has taken Guerlain in, and people that I watch have really raved about her brand that she runs herself. So this is Violet FR. FR obviously stands for France. I don't remember what her last name is. But it has, on the inside of the cardboard, it has this really pretty like Klein blue color in it. Super cool. And this is the Lip Nectar. It's a hydrating lip stain, and this is called Rose de Moab, so it is the brown one. Surprise, surprise, I picked up the brown one. And it comes in this beautiful tube with the gold cap. I haven't even opened this yet. I haven't opened the Danessa Myricks, or uncapped it yet, but this is the Lip Nectar, and I've seen you can use this 2 ways. You can use it as put it on, wipe it off, and it's a stain, or you can build it up to be glossier. So it's kind of like 2 products in one. It's like a faux gloss, and it's also a stain. So interesting. Not the first of its kind, but obviously I really wanted to try Violet FR, and I wasn't quite ready to go for the eye paints or the lip balms. I have so many lip balms. I've heard they're good, but so I just wanted to try something a little bit different for my collection, so we'll be trying that today. But anyway, let's get into this Colorfix stick. Again, there is a side with a foil The foil is, so it says on the end, the foil is Astra and the metallic is Cassiopeia. So I think they have shown them in the marketing pictures as you can use them either separately or layer them. And I think you layer the metallic on top of the foil. Not really sure. So we are going to start with the foil. As you can see, I've picked two. I think these are like a rose gold and a gold. One of them is a little bit more multi-chrome. It's a prismatic duo for eyes, lips, and face, so it is multi-use. It says refreshing water burst, so apparently the formula is supposed to feel like a burst of water on your skin. And then it says magnetic mix and match freedom system. So that is the idea. It has two dynamic finishes, metallics, one swipe full coverage of hyper reflective pearls, and foil for sheer buildable dimensional sparkle without the fallout. Okay, so we're gonna go with the metallic on the bottom, I guess, and the foil on the top. Foil is Astra, so let's take a look at this. It has another little safety cap on it, which is great. And then you can see here, that is the color. And then I'm just gonna do a swipe on the back of my hand. That is very, very, ooh, that is actually very, I do feel the water burst on it. So that is the color. This is the one that is supposed to have multi-dimensional shimmer. So like a, also almost a multi-chrome, which she's pretty famous for her multi-chromes. And that's really, really beautiful. It is very much like a rose gold. And let's see what happens when you, ooh, very pretty. And it's still very, it still feels very water fresh. You still feel that watery burst, I guess, but you can see the more diffuse sparkle. So it's a little less foiled and a little bit more shimmery. And I guess we'll use this hand for the other one. Here is Cassiopeia. I love that name. It's a constellation, obviously. All of these are named after star, the idea of stars and space and galaxies. So this is the metallic. Very pretty. Much less, so very metallic. Oh, again, I feel the water burst idea, like it's very like cooling on the skin. You can see it's a lot less multi-chrome, but it does have more coverage. And we'll see what happens when we blend it out. This does not blend out as easily, seems to set down a little bit more. So it seems like this is going to be more of a quick drying, not instant quick dry, but you can see it's still a little bit blended out, but it's not as easily blendable as the foil. So yeah, I get the idea. This one you lay down and it dries pretty quickly, and then the other one you can spread over it to get a more dimensional look. So we are going to try this out. Again, we're doing the metallic first, Cassiopeia. Again, I love that name because I love constellations, Greek mythology. Okay, so let's just go right in with this on the eye. And it is a large, oh, that feels really, yeah. It is a larger flat sort of application, so it's not like the pointed or the Laura Mercier is the more rounded, and the Chanel crayons are pointed. This is just more like, boom, one swipe, as you can see. Feels very wet. But I'm getting a lot of coverage, so yeah, let's see if I can run this out a little bit. A little bit. It's a very pretty, like, pink gold. And yes, very, very cooling on the skin. And I'm not wearing any eye primer today. I felt like I would just let this settle down as it is and see how it wears and creases on by itself throughout the day. But yeah, that's very, very pretty. And then we're going to go in with Astra, which is the foil, and we're going to top this. So how do we want to do this? I think we want to go on the inner corner. And I think you can see the difference right there. Very, very foiled, very, very bright. And we'll just blend it out from there. Put a little bit on the center of the lid. Ooh, look at that. That is how foiled that is. That just kind of, whoa. That top layer just kind of came right off. Roll that back down. So just so you know, this is a little bit soft, this foil. So we're just going to take this and dab it on my hand. Pop it on the center of the lid. Yes, very, very, very shimmery, very foiled. You can see it on my hand. That's just, I feel bad wasting all this product, but I'm not going to get it back on the top of there. So there it is. You can see. So just warning, very, very soft, at least that first layer seems to just want to come right off on the foil. The metallic didn't do this, but the foil, yeah. So again, it's beautiful, beautiful multi-chrome. And you can easily, this one is more pliable. You can really shear that out if you need to. The metallic, not so much. So beautiful, but now I know for the future not to just go in hard with that. So I'm gonna go wash my hands. Okay, so I'm gonna go in for a little bit of liner. This is the long-lasting eyeliner from Chanel. This is in Gris Graphite, so it's a metallic gray. That's what I'm gonna go with today. I think it'll just blend in really nicely along the lash line, not take too much away. Yeah, that's nice. I like that the sparkle matches and the line doesn't take too much away. It just kind of blends in, which is nice. Obviously I have some cleanup I need to do, so I did go a little bit all over the place and there's a little bit of fallout because of how I applied concealer. So this is the Le Correcteur de Chanel. Just gonna go in and do that. And then because I want to use my Danessa Myricks products, I'm going to go back into my Yummy Skin Serum Skin Tint. I remembered I didn't have a lot of this left, so I haven't used it very much at all in the last year or so. So we're going to see how much is actually left in here because it wasn't a whole lot. This is number 3. It's a little bit deep for me, a little bit yellow, but I can make it work. And it's got a little bit more coverage than the Water Fresh tint that I usually wear. I am wearing the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Blurring Balm Powder in Translucent as a primer today. I have done my skincare, my sunscreen, and my eyebrows. And I am hopefully going to the art fair today if the weather holds, but it's kind of been hit and miss with rain. We've had storms roll through, and I don't know if it's humid or chilly or what, so I'm just hoping for the best. And then I am going to add a little bit of the Fluid and Luminor from Chanel. This is the one in Halo from the Camellia Futura collection. Give a little bit of glow so my face doesn't look so flat. I don't normally apply it all over my face like this. I would usually put it more here, concentrate it a little bit and blend it out, but today I'm just going for sort of an all over dewy look. So, okay, I'm gonna go in and add in my eyelashes with the Chanel Noir Allure mascara. So with my lashes added back in, I'm going to go in with some blush. I'm going to use the Yummy Skin Blurring Balm Powder in Rosé and Brunch. This is the, no, it's not the Blurring Balm Powder, it's the Blurring Balm Powder Flushed. Again, there's just so many names. The names for these makeup products are so long. This is a really nice formula, it just kind of blurs. Just tamping this down a little bit with the brush I use for the skin tint. A little bit pinker than I wanted it to be, but it's okay. These products can be incredibly pigmented, and that's fine. And this little guy is just so cute. It's a little mini pack from Sephora a few years ago with the mini of the translucent blurring balm powder. Then to match the eyes, I'm going to go in with a little bit of the Diamond Dust highlighter because this does have a little bit of a rose gold tinge to it. And now we're going to try the lip stain. So here we go. This is the first time I'm opening it, and it's just popping right up. What this is, the applicator. It's just like a flat. It's like kind of like the one from Chanel for the Rouge à Lilac. It's triangular and flat. Let's see see how this goes. Nice and brown. A little bit of pink. Feels very wet. It doesn't have that super like pillowy smoothness that the Rouge Allure Lac has. It's much more like a gloss. So you can build this up. You can see I'm getting a little bit of those stringy things. So you can build this up if you want, but the idea is also you can wipe it off. So I'm just going to let it sit a minute and then wipe it off with a tissue. It's very pretty with just this one coat, but again, I'm getting those little like strings. So I have a tissue. So it leaves a nice little stain behind. Again, I've got those little like stringy things. But yeah, just like the hint of a stain, and then you can see like it doesn't look like there's a ton of product that I've pulled off. So, but again, I do have those little like stringy things. So I don't know, I'll have to get used to the formula and see how I want to apply. This is just straight out of the bottle, first impression. So I have to figure out how to use the product that works best for me and see how it goes. So I do like the little stain that it leaves behind. Doesn't look super pigmented, but you can see it, it's there, and it kind of goes very well with the Danessa Myricks and the overall look. It's not very strong, which is fine. I'm not going for that. It's not super like, it's not super brown like it looks in the bottle, and it does look, if you look at the applicator, you can kind of see where the product is not sitting, that it looks like a little bit more, and I don't know if this is the actual applicator color, but it looks like red or like reddish purple. So I don't know. I'll have to try it. It's, again, it's interesting, and I will have to see how it works. I'm not sure. And again, we'll see how the Danessa Myricks Colorfix stick works. It's really, really pretty. I really like the foil, however, just it looks like the way that it dries down is it kind of does this like flake thing, so that when the top layer dries, it's just gonna sort of flake off if it's sitting on a lot of product. I noticed when I was trying to clean up the inside of my eye that it was just kind of like a big flake that kind of I had to push off. Now, that's probably going to be different when you use like a makeup remover or something. You know, hopefully it just dissolves. Again, first impression, I don't know, but it seems like it's a very, very soft formula that can dry like a layer on top, and then that layer will just kind of come off. So I would be very careful with how you apply, how you store it, how you put the cap back on. But yeah, again, first impression, I can't really make any blanket judgments about this. It is obviously different formulas and different brands that I'm using, which is always super fun. Always super fun to try out new styles of makeup and new thoughts and methods and ideas of makeup. So I'm excited, and I think it looks really, really pretty. And I hope that both of these products I learned to use in a way that makes them a winner for me in my collection. So Again, 2 new products. I have the Colorfix Stick Duo number 5 and the Violet FR Lip Nectar. So very excited to have these and keep trying them out. And this is the look. Hope you enjoyed seeing me try these new products. Again, first impression. I will probably have a lot more to say on these in the future. But thank you for being here. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Any of those would be welcome. All of them would be deeply, deeply appreciated. And I will see you in the next one.